Good morning. This is Manoharan from Acupuncture Foundation, Hyderabad. We are here again for part 2 of Yin and Yang discussions in the series of Talking to the Point. Last time we have discussed about Yin and Yang. What is Yin, what is Yang. Now we are going to see the applications of Yin and Yang. Last time we have discussed Yin and Yang, like day is Yang, night is Yin, cold is Yin, hot is Yang, descending is Yin, and ascending is Yang. Today we are going to discuss about how to apply that in acupuncture. You would have seen, suppose you are affected by severe cold in the winter, or you are having a fever or cold. Anybody who is a senior person or a grandmother in the house, immediately what they will do is, they will take a kashayam, make a kashayam, which is of kali mirch, which is pepper, and dhania or ginger. They will give it to you. Probably the next morning you will be alright. What is the principle here? Basically the principle here is when you are affected by cold, you need hot things to compensate the cold. Ginger is hot, kali mirch is hot. So a decoction of these two things will clear you from the cold. The basic principle is, if the heat is excess, compensate with the cold. If the cold is excess, compensate with the heat or remove the cold. In terms of acupuncture, if Yin is excess, we have to remove Yin, compensate with the Yang, and if the Yang is excess, we have to remove Yang and compensate with the Yin. That's what my grandmother or your grandmother would have done in the homemade remedies. So let's just see what is Yin, what is Yang once again. You are saying cold is Yin, hot is Yang. Whenever there is a balance of Yin and Yang, the health is maintained properly. When there is an imbalance of either Yin or Yang, then there is a disease or illness. There are 4 conditions which can happen here. One is in excess, another is in deficiency. It can be Yang excess or Yang deficiency, or sometimes it is possible both are excess. So anything which happens, it happens within these 5 conditions only. So whenever Yin is excess, you have to remove Yin. Whenever Yang is excess, you have to remove Yang. Probably when both are excess, you have to reduce both. There is a possibility both can be down also. So you will have to improve that, both. In winter, what happens? We are always feeling cold. So we said cold is Yin, winter is Yin, night is Yin. So in a winter night, you will be feeling heavy cold. Why it is so? If you are already sufficient coldness in the body, and whenever excess coolness is given by winter or night, you feel uncomfortable. Which means something is there sufficiently within your body and you try to give it excess, you feel uncomfortable. Let's see what is excess. If you are come out from a shower and then come directly into the air conditioned room, you will be feeling uncomfortable because your body is having sufficient coolness in there. And then AC is on, you feel the temperature is low and you are feeling uncomfortable. You will immediately say no, please switch off AC. Which means if it is there in the body sufficient amount of cold and any additional amount of cold is given, it is called excess. You feel uncomfortable. If your body is having sufficient hotness and any additional amount of heat is given, you feel uncomfortable. Anything is already up to the brim and then you are trying to give more. If you feel uncomfortable, it is excess. What is deficiency? Suppose you are not well and then there is a fever and suddenly you feel cold. You are not having sufficient heat energy in the body. So whenever there is a chilliness, you feel it is cold or shivering. That means sufficient heat is not there in the body, it is called a deficiency. What you do when it is deficient, you will feel like, whenever you are shivering, you feel like putting on a sweater. That means you need heat. You try to create a heat by wearing a sweater, not letting the body temperature to go out. So you feel like, yes, I need heat. If you need something, it is actually deficiency. If you don't like something, like you want to switch off the air conditioner in cold, there is an excess. Now let's see. We said cold is in and heat is yang. If there is a fever or chillness in your body, then yes, it's a cold disease. That means it is indominant disease. What you are supposed to do? You are supposed to reduce the cold from the body or increase the heat.